Hello everyone, and welcome to the next part of the Danganronpa streams. So, quick recap. The next murder happened. It was Chihiro. She was killed in the girls' locker room, and there was something written in blood behind her. We are now going to investigate her murder and figure out who did it. We know that whoever did it must have done it because they wanted to keep a very big secret safe, since that was the new motive. And it seems like we already have some watchers. Hello! What is it? I'm sorry, Snake shouldn't have attacked you guys. I'm sorry. I thought, you know, since it's still Danganronpa. Cut off how? Oh! Okay. I had not foreseen that happening, but I'm glad it was something like that and not something more serious. Because I was getting worried there for a second. But I can live with the stream with they're now being talked about of Byakuya's new ass. Like, I know that our Discord is still meant to be, you know, okay for, well, not exactly minors, but, you know, teens, but I hope that a stream that has Byakuya's new ass in the title is okay. I tried to suppress my screaming, but it was useless. It surged out of me, like water from a spring gushing out of the ground. Byakuya, on the other hand, well, he had a new ass.
Very strange.
Most unusual, don't you think? He was totally calm, almost like he was watching this all unfold in front of a TV screen.
I see.
Look, Chihiro's corpse has been suspended somehow. It's tied up with a rope, Byakuya. Do you need new glasses? And something's been written on the wall in blood. By the way, if there's any issue with my microphone, like if I'm too loud or too quiet, or the game is too loud or too quiet, just tell me and I'll fix it. Bloodlust. Such a brutal way to kill someone. No, this is beyond brutal. Wouldn't you agree? They killed her. How could it not be brutal? No, that's not my point. This murder is far too bizarre for any everyday amateur to have committed. Unlike with Sayaka, this murder was not a crime of passion or necessity. It's almost as if whoever did this did it for fun. You see what I mean, don't you? What? My head was swimming. I was still reeling, too confused to understand what he was trying to say. And before I could even begin to clear my head...
What the heck?
Hey! I heard screaming! Did something... Chihiro!
A body has been discovered!
Oh, that's fine, Fish. We've just started. All of that's happened real now is that apparently Byakuya has a new ass, and Chihiro has been dead. Well, you already knew that. That happened in the last stream. Yeah. Byakuya says the murder is too brutal for, like, an everyday killer to have done. And we just got the body announcement message, which is the first time we see it.
Which you may use however you like. The class trial will begin.
What the hell was that?
What?
Ah, that's right. You were unconscious during Sayaka, so you don't know about it. What you just heard was the body discovery announcement. Apparently, when 3 or more people discover a body, an announcement plays to let everyone know. I imagine it's so that the search for the culprit can proceed fairly for everyone involved. Proceed fairly? The body discovery announcement? That Chihiro really is?
Naturally.
Dead. Yes. Before you start screaming your head off, go round everyone up. It seems another game has begun. Another life or death game to uncover a killer. Taka bolted out of the locker room. As everyone made their way to the scene, it felt as if no time had passed at all. Oh, no time at all passed. It's kind of a weird way to formulate that sentence, I think. It was like my sense of time had just taken wing and flown away. Well, Makoto, you've already talked about how that happens anyway due to you not being able to see out of the window in this school. When I finally came back to myself, I saw everyone had the same look of confusion, fear, and anger. We all just stood there, gathered around Chihiro's body. Damn, I couldn't keep her safe. So there was another victim. Which means we are now in the same position once again. Fuck, man. What the fuck is this?
It's a dream. This is a dream. It's all just a dream. In fact, I haven't even been born yet. I don't have any memory of ever being alive.
Shut up. For now, pay attention to the wall. Huh? I said it once already. There's a word written there. On the wall? But walls are extinct. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood.
So...
I don't think it's any kind of dying message. Oh, gee, you think? Here I thought that Chihiro must have written it after tying herself up. It's just too strange. But you know, that thing about writing bloodlust in blood, doesn't it sound kind of familiar? A murderous fiend who kills again and again, using a bizarre and brutal method. And at the scene of each crime, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack! Genocide Jack, the murderous fiend whose grisly attacks were famous all across the country. The ultimate murderous fiend, creating a reputation of abnormal, downright cruel killings.
What is this?
Then this is some copycat killer trying to imitate in a Genocide Jack style. Ugh, I'm flubbing my lines all over the place. But why would anyone do that? Perhaps it's the work of the real Genocide Jack. Real? Wait, are you saying Genocide Jack is here in the school?
No way!
There's no way! But going so far as to write bloodlust at the scene, I am surprised at such stupidity.
Well,
I can't imagine a worse situation than dealing with a stupid murderer.
What is it now?
Toko! Hina was pointing toward the entrance to the girls' locker room. Toko was the last to arrive, and now she was just standing there. Oh yeah, remember guys, Toko can't stand the sight of blood. She faints when she sees it. No! Why? 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 She fainted! That did not sound good. Toko! Hina rushed over to the collapsed Toko and started trying to shake her awake. Well, it's actually the main character who's the new ass. Toko, are you okay? Come on, wake up!
Oh, that's right. I just remember what she said about how she faints anytime she sees blood.
Oh,
So she is hemophobic. I imagine she does not watch too many horror films, and... This isn't a violation of the rules, right? I mean, technically she passed out somewhere besides her room. No, I think it should be okay. The regulations prohibit sleeping, like, on purpose. So since she didn't faint on purpose, it doesn't count. Gotcha! If, however, you do faint on purpose, Monokuma is gonna come and kill your ass.
Just a second.
Toko? Can you hear me? Hey, you gotta wake up! As if she'd heard her, Toko suddenly shut awake. As in, she literally jumped up from where she was laying. It was such a strange reaction. I was at a total loss for words. She leapt straight up into the air, changing her stance as she did. In no time flat, she was just standing up. Ignoring the physical contortion she had to go through, her motions were totally haphazardous. Or haphazard. Huh? What? Sorry about that. I was just so shocked, you know. It happens, right? Was I the only one? Toko, are you okay? I'm fine. Oh, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead?
What the heck?
She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top eating and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies.
Well,
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
No, everything's fine. At least the stutter's all gone. That's a good thing, right?
I see.
It's clear for me that everything is not fine. Your eyes seem strangely vacant. It might be best if we take her back to her room for the time being. I don't mind taking her, but could someone help me?
If you need help, I don't mind.
Yeah, seeing a girl who was killed in the girls' locker room might have been more that Toko could handle.
Oh, she totally ignored me.
Everyone wants to ignore you, Hifumi. Very well. You take care of the girl, and the rest of us can begin the investigation right away. Can I assume nobody has a problem leaving Sakura and Mondo on guard duty again? Hold on a second. Rushing to an investigation? The mastermind isn't behind that. After what happened last time, surely you realize that.
Don't make me repeat.
There is no question that Chihiro was murdered by someone among us. Guys, there's an imposter among us. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Of course.
Right as rain. But don't take it as a bad thing. It's just a fact of life. Because that's how graduation works.
And it's happened again? Is that what you're saying? That another one of us? Another one of us killed a fellow classmate?
What? Does that freak you out? You guys got no balls, you know that?
No spoilers, Easy Snake. Remember, there are people here who haven't played the game, and I want to keep these streams as spoiler-free as possible.
Is there just nothing down there at all? Well, I'll let you pray to mine if you want.
Is that a Japanese thing? Praying to testicles? Like, I know with tanukis that them having very big testicles are like a sign of prosperity, so which is why businessmen often have like tanuki statues. It's fine, Snake. It's kind of obvious what happens here in the investigation anyway. But I promise to the people who haven't played this before that this mystery is a lot more interesting and has a lot more twists than the first one. And it's a lot less obvious who actually did the killing.
Actually, I don't have any either. Sorry.
Yeah, I know that not having any balls means like being a coward, I was more referring to Monokuma saying, if you want to pray to mine. Like, I do know that no balls means being like a coward.
Stop talking.
More like Tanuku. Oh god, I kind of lost it. Tanukima? No, that doesn't really work. Monoki? No. Stop monologuing and give us what you came here to give us. You did bring it, right?
I sure did, chum.
By the way, have you ever noticed that, like, the left eye, which, by the way, also appears on the Hope's Peak school crest, it kind of looks like a closed eye with eyelashes. Like, that's the only thing that I can kind of interpret it as being, because I really don't know what else it could be. Tomonokuma.
Allow me to present the next Monokuma file. I know how much you must be looking forward to it.
See ya
So
later.
please do your very tippy-top best in this investigation.
No way.
Do we really gotta do another investigation? Examining the corpse of one of our friends? Having to suspect all our other friends?
Why?
I hate this. I can't take this anymore. I mean, like, yeah, you would assume that, but like I said, the eye does appear on the Hope's Peak school crest. Like, on the Hope's Peak, there is like a brush or a pen, don't remember which it was, and the Monokuma eye, like, crossed. So, like, I don't really know what it actually is, or if it's just some kind of stylized thing. I mean, it could be. That does actually kind of make sense. I hate it too! I've had enough. I'm getting out of here!
Hey!
Where do you plan on going? There's nowhere to run.
Such ignorance.
Just accept it already. After all, blood is just a liquid. A dead body is a simple object. You are very enthusiastic about all of this, are you not?
Naturally.
How can I not be? If we don't unmask the culprit, we all die. That's true, but to jump into it so soon...
What?
What? Do you want to die?
Such ignorance.
Fine, then go off and die somewhere. Right now, go ahead. You're a waste of space. That's no way to talk to your new ass, Byakuya.
Damn you!
That body is an object.
Piece of shit!
Chihiro wasn't an object. Show a little respect or I'll beat some into ya.
Calm down.
Everyone stop bickering. Listen, there's some truth in what Byakuya said. Kyoko!
Because...
If we don't solve the mystery and find the killer, our own lives are forfeit. And if Byakuya is right that Genocide Jack is somehow the one who killed Chihiro,
That's right.
then unless we do something, more victims could start piling up. Well, his point was more that people in general aren't objects and, like, you know, show dead bodies the respect they deserve because, like, even if they aren't a person anymore, they used to be a person.
Don't forget for our victims, if we mess this up, we're all dead meat.
Hey! Hey!
Hold on. If that's your worry, you don't gotta worry any longer. In any one killing game, the guilty party may only kill a maximum of 2 people.
Huh?
What? I don't remember any rule like that.
Actually...
I just came up with it. I mean, if one person went to hell and killed everyone, your lovely student life would be all over, right?
The new rule has been added to the regulations menu.
So then...
In that case, why not limit it to 1 person?
Hey!
Well, in a good mystery, you don't want to miss out on at least the potential of a serial killer angle. Just one would totally murder that possibility.
Punishment is
Farewell for
waiting
now.
for you.
I'll catch you guys at the class trial.
I can't say I understand his thinking, but if we can kill up to 2 people, then one more person's life could still be in danger. Which is definitely not good. We need to uncover the culprit before something else happens.
You son of a bitch!
You need to shut the fuck up! Oh wait, I think I can do it like the meme, you need to shut the fuck up! Well, for now, Taka and me are gonna drop Toko off at her room. Wait, she's still here? Nice, I'm gonna get dropped off.
There is nothing to be done.
We have no time to stand around here. We must begin our investigation tout suite. If we do not solve the mystery of who killed Chihiro,
Okay.
then we will quickly follow her into the afterlife. That's true. I hate this, but if I want to survive, me and everyone else, we have to do it. We don't have any other choice. First of all, I'd better check the Monokuma file to see exactly what's going on. Oh, thank you, Simon! The victim was Chihiro Fujisaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the 2nd floor of the school. And this continues the trend of people dying because they didn't follow the no nighttime rule. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. That's all it says. Well, it's not like there's any point in complaining about it. No matter what, I gotta do what I gotta do. So that's why she was outside of her room. She was looking for that mad crusty burger. Hey Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? Did you need something from me?
Naturally.
Of course, I need a new ass. Life without purpose is quite dull, you know. Well, I think Makoto has a bigger purpose than being your ass, Byakuya. So what did you need? I'm going to let you corroborate with me during my investigation. Huh?
What?
I'm purchasing your talent. The same talent which allowed you to solve Sayaka's case. Well, Makoto didn't really solve Sayaka's case. It was Kyoko. Like, even if you want to go with that, like, during the trial, even then, Kyoko told him what to do with the message in order to uncover who did it. Solve? No, even Makoto knows. You seem to have some limited use, which is why I've chosen you. You have the honor of contributing to my investigation. And this entire thing is what started people shipping Byakuya and Makoto. So you're inviting me to come with you? You're doing it in the most arrogant way possible, though.
Let's go.
Now then, shall we get started? But we need to get moving. There's no time to be standing around. I don't really know what just happened, but it looks like I'll be working with Byakuya on this one. Okay, so since he wanted us to investigate the message so much, the word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood. What's the meaning behind it? Bloodlust. Okay, let's investigate Chihiro's body. I could feel the life draining out of my own body. Chihiro's a vampire. It's a dead body. Chihiro's dead body.
Very strange.
But the more I look, the more strange it all seems. This must be Genocide Jack's handiwork. Well, but...
What?
But we're still not sure he did it. Is that what you want to say? I wonder about that. Okay, we have here... The poster's got some blood on it. It must have happened during the murder. There's a fresh blood stain on the carpet. It must have been splattered with blood during the murder. There's a dumbbell on the floor, and this is a blood stain. There's a blood stain on the dumbbell. Yeah, it's a really nice poster. You know, girls gotta have some positive body image to look up to while they're working out. The Monokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon?
Right.
I don't imagine it could have been anything else. Okay, let's talk to Byakuya. If you have time to talk, you have time. Okay, fine. I'm gonna look what else needs investigating. God damn it. Okay, I think I'm gonna talk to Kyoko and see if she's examined the body. She took her time examining Chihiro's corpse. She poked and prodded and going over every inch of the lifeless body. Like, even though Kyoko is currently the ultimate question mark, we can say for pretty sure that she's probably the ultimate detective, and she's therefore the only one who actually knows how to examine a body. You're a very strange woman, you know, being able to touch a dead body with absolutely no trouble. She seems to be concentrating pretty hard. It's like she can't even hear us. And then I realized Kyoko was deaf on one ear. Maybe I should try and talk into the other one. Okay, let's talk to Sakura. I use this locker room all the time. Now, it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else and then carried here. That is true. That is one fact we cannot deny, Fish. She was very light, that is true. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her, but still. I still think she came here on her own by choice. What makes you say that? She'd been talking a lot lately about how she wanted to get stronger. So you're saying she came here to exercise? But according to the Monokuma file, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Yeah, well, remember how she wasn't comfortable about being in the locker room with Sakura and Aoi? She probably wanted to exercise on her own because she has body image issues. Would she really have been exercising that late?
Perhaps.
Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us. And instead she came to exercise in the middle of the night?
However,
Perhaps. But it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. So you're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret, but that she would have come with someone else? It's a possibility, I think. That is true. But like, Sakura is also really nice. You know, she's the kind of person who would like give you pointers and be really nice and encouraging. Just like, I think Sakura would probably be one of the best people you could ever work out with. And now we need to talk to Mondo, I think. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? Oh, I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did. Which, I guess explains the trip down here. But, did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. Yeah, this is another thing, like, I'm sure you people who've played it have noticed it before. I mean, it's Japan, it's Japan, you know. I don't know, man, haven't really thought about that stuff. The cause of Chihiro's complex. I can't help but wondering what it might be. Because as we all know, girls can never be self-conscious about being weak. I mean, being told your whole life how you're supposed to be weak, how you're supposed to be physically lesser than men. I mean, how could any of that give you a complex about being weak or a desire to become stronger? That's right, Mondo drinks support women juice. Now I believe it's about time for us to move on. Huh? Already? Actually, if we do have the headcanon that Makoto is misogynistic, that gives some moments with Kyoko later on kind of puts it in a better light. Like, later on she will kind of get Makoto to do stuff that she doesn't want to, and she'll be like, well, you're a boy, boys are more suited for this kind of thing. And, basically my new headcanon is she heard Makoto say this and be like, oh, you think women are weak? You think that women are supposed to be weaker than men, huh? Well, alright then. I'll let you be this big, tough, strong macho man for me. Does that sound great? Huh? Already? What? New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. Well, we can always wait for Kyoko to be done analyzing the body. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but
let's go.
If you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. He's so pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time. So, this is our next location. Huh? This place is related to... This place is related to the investigation? Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? Okay, I think we need to investigate here. If I remember right, this card reader is meant to work with our handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma. He said that, then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
You call for me?
Has he been domesticated?
That's right.
It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up?
Well, it's about this card reader.
Yep.
Yes, the card reader have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed in your individual handbook.
See, Monokuma's the kind of guy who's like, it's not what's in your pants, it's what's on your e-handbook. Then again, you know, Japan, and like, given how Monokuma is, he's probably transphobic too. And it's impossible for two people in a row to go through while the door is unlocked, correct?
If there was some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl, the ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter.
And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Correctly correct.
So then, that means only girls can go in the girls' locker room, and only boys can go in the boys' locker room. In other words... Oh my god! Roskilde Festival! Yeah, I don't go to music festivals a lot. You know, autist, so like being in a big group of people with loud music everywhere, it's kind of not the best. Concerts are a little better because at least there are seating spots that you can like pull back to, even though when I'm actually at a concert I do prefer to be around the crowd. And again, I've only been to like 2-3 concerts in my life, and they've all been kind of small affairs, so... In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means... Hey Makoto, I can see right through you. See right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there. Oh yeah, that's definitely true about Monokuma being everything phobic. Like, he is the worst.
So, in other words...
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
Such
Good
ignorance.
lord, you're simple. Well, that is the most logical conclusion to get to. We've just been told that only girls can go into the girls' locker room, only boys can go into the boys' locker room. Chihiro, who's a girl, was found in the girls' locker room, and Of course that would mean that the killer must be a girl. But am I wrong? You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine.
I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations.
Knowing you, I would bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things.
You're treating me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course that I am.
Well, Monokuma said it, he's not a snack. Okay, so loaning out a handbook means that you're giving it to someone else that in exchange that they bring it back to you. Borrowing the handbook, meanwhile, is receiving it or taking it from someone else and then giving it back later. So, like, that's basically the difference. Like, giving your handbook to someone else, not allowed. But someone else taking your handbook is okay. That's basically how the loophole works. But, like, if this game was in Danish, it would be even more confusing because, like, that, we don't have different words for loaning and borrowing. It's the same word, låne. So, yeah, that loophole wouldn't work. Instead, it would probably be something like stealing someone's handbook would be okay. And like I think like instead of doing the whole loaning borrowing thing, they should just have gone with taking someone's handbook is okay.
Well then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore, they're things!
Oh, so Monokuma agrees with Byakuya that dead people aren't real.
Yep.
Got it? Got it! Good! Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a...
Oh, wait, sorry. Oh my god, I did this in an earlier episode too. I accidentally gave Makoto the Monokuma voice. Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it, so,
Just listening to you makes me want to pass out! Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together!
No swearing on this Christian stream, Monokuma. You get the banhammer.
Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence! No more questions, figure out the rest on your own damn self!
That's fine.
Well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculties, so I'll fill you in myself. Well, he's not wrong about that. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? That'll help you understand what's going on. We came to the main hall. We almost never go to this room. So, what are we looking for here? Does that mean I have to figure it out for myself? God, what is it with you people and making me use my brain meat? There's a mailbox here. Could there be something inside? Wait, I thought Makoto was against opening other people's mails. This is bad characterization. It's an e-handbook. See, you can see the Hope's Peak school crest there. See, it has Monokuma's eye thing. No, wait, there's 3 of them. But what are they doing here? Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best. So, you finally found them. Huh? Did you know these were here, Byakuya? I happened to find them by chance myself the other day. It seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. See, the thing is, I think you can actually investigate that mailbox before and see that the student handbooks are inside it. So if you've done that, it kind of makes Makoto seem like an idiot for not realizing that. I don't think so, because I do remember that the crest like appeared before Makoto entered the school, and like there it was also part of the thing. Like go watch the prologue and see the Hope's Peak crest there. Like it does have the thing, I believe. So then these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka? You can go ahead and confirm it yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and when I did... Sayaka Maizono. You're right! This is Sayaka's handbook! You know... There is a chance that something would have happened if Makoto tried to turn on Junko's, or maybe it wouldn't. Oh. Now do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. He's not. You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. You know, they could have just come up with the explanation that the handbook of the dead students are public property, because, you know, like, they had the whole thing about the dead students not being people anymore.
What?
Hold on a second. What's wrong?
Very strange.
That's strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Whose is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up. Okay, never mind then. Then the one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. Well, yeah, that is basically how it works with Monokuma. After all, he did get pummeled it with dozens and dozens of baseball. Dozens and dozens and dozens of once. Pummeled with baseballs. The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. The execution that the mastermind concocted. Well, if it's any consolation, Makoto, the execution is probably less brutal than you remember it. A cruel, heartless death. You're right. It wouldn't be surprising for the handbook to break during that kind of assault.
Damn it!
Hey! 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 Hey!
What?
That e-handbook is essential to student life here. Crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal. There's no way it would break that easily.
But it did.
That's
If
impossible!
I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break. It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters. Okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit with it, it wouldn't do crap. Oh, but even my amazing handbook does have one single weak point.
Right, Monokuma would never lie or cheat or trick. No, look at that face. He's an angel. It does?
I can't hear you!
But it's a secret. I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing what its weakness was, right?
Hard to say. You know what I think? I think his handbook isn't actually broken.
What?
But you might ask, how could that be?
Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared. What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on. Well, Makoto, just because something isn't turning on doesn't mean it's not broken. Have you ever thought about that? I mean, this is the laptop this is the laptop all over again. It didn't turn on, so they thought it was broken, but maybe it just needed power.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me. You know, given Makoto's level of intelligence, it wouldn't really surprise me if that turned out to be the case. Okay then, this should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the true culprit. Yeah, we need to find out who killed Chihiro. To be exact, not quite. Huh? Not quite. What do you mean by that, Byakuya? What do you mean by that, Byakuya? He actually said it. To be exact, not quite. Certainly I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely. I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then, you really think? You truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat
Absolutely.
myself.
I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case. That murderous fiend is Genocide Jack, right? I think we have cleared that we're talking about Genocide Jack.
What?
There's nobody else it could be. A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. I mean, she was hit over the head with a dumbbell. That's not really a bizarre or brutal method. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack. They say he's killed thousands of people, but that's gotta be an urban legend. Still, could one of us really be a demented, psychotic killer like that? You're not wrong to wonder. But words mean little right now. I have something that will prove it, and I can show you. Are you gonna share with the rest of the class? And I have a basis to believe that. I assure you, Genocide Jack is one of us. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide all the evidence you need.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. Evidence? Does something like that really? Hey, you two! Big trouble! Need your help!
I don't have time to
We're
play with
busy.
you.
Leave us alone.
But it's an emergency! Emergency! Come on, please, you gotta help me!
Please.
This is serious. This is a serious emergency. Please, you gotta help me!
He could even... What? He's Genocide Jack! Look, he's gonna turn red any second now. Any second. See, red! No, wait, that's blood. Just calm down, okay, Hina? So who do you guys think Genocide Jack is? My money's on Hero.
But it's an emergency!
Oh my god, that's right. That's right, Steak. Sorry, it's pink, not red. An emergency? What happened?
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange.
Well, I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? Right, I meant pink. What should we do, Byakuya? Oh my god, no one would have ever seen that coming.
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit I'm intrigued. Makoto was voted out. Makoto was not the imposter. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. I mean, if you think about it, Danganronpa is basically Among Us, the anime.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me repeat myself. I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no and that'd be the end of it. Aw, I guess maybe he really does care about Toko. Maybe their relationship isn't inherently abusive and toxic. Okay, come on, hurry! Wait for us, Hina!
Let's go.
It looks like she headed to the dorms. To Toko's room, most likely. You're right. Is Toko inside? Some kind of emergency. Yeah, I want to... I guess I gotta talk to these people. You guys are too slow! I think you're just too fast. You're too slow! So, what's the emergency? Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, you know, see what she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out, and she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. I may as well give it a shot. The door swung open, slowly and silently. Well, then it's not really swinging, right? Holy crap. An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What?
Also, can we acknowledge that Toko kind of looks pretty from this in this shot?
Nothing. It's just that Hina was really worried about you pulling yourself up in your room.
Well, she does have atrocious vibes.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But could you open up just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
Won't let Genocide Jack have control.
Nah, she's just shaking. And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door. But it felt like something was holding its shut on the other side. I think that was Toko, Hina. Yes, of course! It all came full circle! The door! Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared?
But...
Well, either that or the door's keeping her hostage. Could be either one. The door! Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Hey, Byakuya, you think you could talk to her? To come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can't be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments...
What do you want?
I'm gonna have to check that out. Leave me alone. You're all so annoying. Bakuna!
It's Byakuya.
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let let Genocide Jack have control ever again! And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. I look forward to seeing them, Simon. There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on! Hey, Byakuya, what was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya! And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked. But he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking towards his destination. Like a man with a plan. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. I'm not gonna say what room it was. The library? What a twist. Come on, let's go in. Okay. Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me say it again. Also, guys, notice that the laptop is gone. Wonder who could have taken it. If I remember, on the other side of this door... It's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Oh, here? Well, geez, Byakuya, if you wanted a place to make out, you could have just said so.
Let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. Like, yes, the library is for nerds, but like, nerds kissing nerds is kind of cute. Whoa, there's so many books and files. And so much dust, too.
So, in other words...
Dusty-ass library archives. I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. Okay, so... Here? This shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh?
That's right.
That's the report on the presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. A presidential assassin? JFK, no! It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? Basically, as long as you're not picking the right one, Byakuya is basically going to try and impress Makoto with all his nerd knowledge. Like, if you read it as Byakuya having a crush on Makoto, but not being willing to come out with it, it's kind of sweet. There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. But it could also just be seen as Byakuya, you know, making fun of and taking the piss out of Makoto. I'm gonna be real with you, former President Shinzo Abe. This is not going to improve Japan's population. Damn it. I messed it up! That would have been such a funny line, but I messed it up! Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. There's so many files stuffed into the shelf. What's in all these things?
Enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scene. Dangerous truth for a commoner. Oh my god, Byakuya believes in the Illuminati. You mean like members of the Diet or something? No, this is Japan. Diets don't exist. I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. I mean, you know, he could be talking about, what's it called? Zionists, I think? You know, that Nazi conspiracy theory that Jews control the world, but like, as terrible as Byakuya is, I don't think he's a Nazi. So I'm gonna go with the Illuminati. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there, like me. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. There's a ton of big files stuffed into the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person would never want to look at. Unlike me. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? All those files are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Oh. So, like, why does Hope Speak Academy have these things in the public library? Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
What?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I put it to good use. Well, we've already established that much. Okay, now we gotta look at this, I think. It's a wooden box. It's empty. Although judging by the smudges in the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. Aren't we still in the library, Byakuya? An extension cord, huh? So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent, like me? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie. Yeah, he's definitely speaking like a Redditor. He's like, you guys are so blue-pilled, it's pathetic. Unlike me, I'm a red-pilled, alpha gamer. Well, it's not that, it's just... It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but... I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? And why is it in a public library that children have access to? I suppose it goes to show just how much Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use! I can't keep up with all of this, it's just too unreal! What's wrong? You still can't believe it? What about you? Yeah, that's definitely Monokuma. How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean, usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple? Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. I mean, they kind of do, Byakuya. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? Yeah, exactly. So, usual and normalcy does, exist. Oh, I don't actually know who Noam Chomsky is. But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? I don't have common sense, Makoto. The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt. Hold on a second. You're saying you've read all these documents more than once. But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So in other words...
I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. God, Makoto, it's so obvious! My family is a member of that council. See, he's a member of the Illuminati. And I have within me that bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. So, are you turned on yet? Are you ready to marry me yet? But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports have always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. Yeah, Byakuya is definitely a Redditor. He's like the kind of Redditor who goes to like things that they can do things better than actual professionals can. And like, who knows, maybe he's right in this case, but I don't think so. And among all those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf. Well, apparently.
That's right.
This is the complete case. Every single report surrounding Genocide Jack cases has been compiled here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin with, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. I mean, I would say he's like cold-blooded, but like I think that's an insult to Snake. Like, Snake's a lizard, and she's fucking amazing. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Oh my god, that's so true, Simon, that's so true. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. See, that's what I was saying, Snake. Save your surprise, the best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. That's kind of weird. Like, the police were willing to disclose the blood loss, message, but they didn't disclose the body suspended thing. Because, like, I guess the reason why they don't want to disclose these characteristics is in order to prevent copycat killers. But, like, why disclose the murder message and not the other thing? Huh? In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. You knew, Byakuya. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim. Stop being horny, Byakuya. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse. Her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So in other words...
The culprit isn't a copycat killer, it's the real Genocide Jack.
In other words...
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then, Genocide Jack really is... Such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around among us.
Interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two. If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. You guys know that people who ship Byakuya and Makoto have taken this line and gone mad over it. Like, can we say at this point that Byakuya may or may not have a slight crush on Makoto, but because of his overall stank personality, this is how he ends up expressing it, because he's basically a male Himedere? But I mean, we're Byakuya's new ass, we gotta do it. Byakuya, about that Genocide Jack case file, could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Why? Byakuya handed me the file and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, 17, Shoji Gaku, 23, Kano Issei, 14, Takeshi Yoshida, 30, Komasuna Taro, Takefumi Gono, Uchida Naohisa, Takeshi Masamune, Yuto Yumejima. There were no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. I mean, when you think about it, Makoto does have the personality of a harem anime protagonist. So you could make the argument that actually all of the students in some way have a crush on Makoto. That would be kind of cool if, like, that was what they did, and, like, the pictures do seem to be, kind of, you know, on the more realistic side, so that they could be creative cameos and such. That would be pretty cool. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood. It would be more weird if it wasn't in the victim's blood. Now take a look at the next page and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page. Reused animation. Profiling results. All of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was any external reason for this. Wait, so the killer has been set to flee the scene in a panic, but there have been no eyewitness accounts. I'm just gonna let that sink in. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder. And there we have it! There we have it, just like Snake said. We have another case of a person with an identity disorder have a personality that's a killer. Can we all agree that this trope of the serial killer with some kind of personality disorder or, well, any kind of mental illness is tired and horrible and offensive, and it's something that we should move away from because it creates a really bad stigma for people who actually suffer from these conditions, and that people who suffer from these conditions are also more likely to be victims of violence than commit violence themselves. And like, I don't know much about dissociative identity disorder, but from what I've heard, the reason why the personalities are created are usually because they can serve different functions. So, like, you can have one that's, like, more protective of you. And, you can have one that's, like, more, innocent, I can kind of see it. I mean, the protector and the, little, as far as I know, are the two most common, identities for people who have DID. So yeah. I don't even know if it's actually possible for a person with DID to have a murder identity, because, like I said, based on what I know, the identities serve different functions to, like, keep the main personality, you know, happy and healthy. Like, there's a reason why the personalities were created.
So, in other words,
the key point here is that the culprit may have a split personality. A split personality, like the kind of thing you see on TV. Right. So I'm part of another totally unbelievable stories. There are no people in reality who have DID. No, but like, how much do you want to bet that there are actually people who are writing these stories who think that, like, DID is like a made-up condition and that no one actually suffers from it? I don't even want to use the word suffer from it because, like, that implies that it's all inherently negative, but, like, DID is mostly a coping mechanism. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up till now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know, I feel like my mind has gone numb.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Huh? Where are we going? Where are we going, stepbrother? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Ah, wait, Byakuya! As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that? Yeah, that's what I meant with, like, the, protector. I think that's what they're most often called in, like, the DID community. The same way that, like, a personality that represents, like, a younger, more innocent person is usually called a little. Just all of a sudden like that? Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. And just like that, he was gone. What was it you heard? Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he'd cut me off. In the end, I felt like I was some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack. He's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. And to do that, there's somewhere I have to investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. Oh. I need to find out everything I can. Okay, so I think the first thing we're gonna do is check the boys' locker room because we haven't investigated there yet. So let's see. Ooh, look, the boys have a poster too. Huh? This poster. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Yeah, I think someone may have had an accident on the carpet. Okay, let's hear from Kyoko. Hey Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation? Generally speaking.
However,
but I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. I think most of us watching here have seen Gravity Falls. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. Oh, poor Nekomaru. He didn't make it to the toilet in time. Guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I'd better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? The rope has a plug? Listen, Makoto, given your general level of intellect, you may not be aware of this, but women have something called a period. We can't control it, and I need to go to the bathroom right now, otherwise I am going to bleed through everything. This isn't a rope at all. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Okay, see ya, Snake! Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. There's the issue of her being suspended, and the fatal blow. I mean, it would have to be. Maybe it's like a darker shade of pink? At first, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Oh yeah. Fucking menstruation pad and tampon ads.
Does it feel weird down there? Do you have problems staying clean down there?
Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. Ah, but we were just there! It's the blood-stained poster. The blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. A girl's locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Oh, but wait! That reminds me. The poster in the other locker room is... That is true. That's right, there's something really strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. Oh my god, yes. Like, like, personally, my menstruations always feel like my insides are getting ripped with barbed wire. Like, that's the best way I can describe the pain. It's horrible. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay, then, let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters. I see.
However...
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. Yeah, but like we gotta ask ourselves, would Monokuma really take that kind of thing into consideration when designing the locker rooms? Like, we've already established he's everything phobic, so... We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room and it left a stain. A stain? But I don't see any stain on the carpet now, apart from the big blood stain.
Of course.
Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with. Disappearing stain has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Now wait a minute, wasn't there a stain in the boys' locker room? What could it mean? Okay, I'm not done with investigating. Maybe I need to investigate more in here. Maybe I need to talk to Mondo. Oh no, this is all stuff we have seen. Maybe it's the message. The dumbbell. Yes, it all makes sense. Okay, so I don't think we're missing anything in the girls' locker room, which means we must be... which means we must be missing something in the boys' locker room? Or maybe we need to talk to Hifumi. Oh, he has actually discovered some evidence.
Ding ding ding, Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I fear that
Another stat increase for me.
Evidence? What did you find?
I cannot reveal that part just yet, but I guarantee that what I found will seal the killer's breath from his lungs.
Are you sure about that? Oh. Are you sure about that?
Oh yeah, Miss Ludenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too.
Really? What did you see?
She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl believes the boy she likes, right? Right?
Okay, so where is Celeste now?
The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there.
What's it gonna be? Can I leave now? Yes. Okay, so we gotta check the library for the Genocide Jack case again and see what those ropes might be. There's a thick layer of dust. I didn't investigate that. I was gonna see... Yeah, I was gonna see the lamp. Huh? The lamp won't turn on. What is it with things not turning on around Makoto? Oh, I see, it's not plugged in. Wow, Makoto has finally figured out that things don't turn on if they don't have power. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it was definitely on, and it was definitely right here. Oh, that's right, Byakuya was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if... The extension cord was in here before. Desk lamp. I don't think I've seen the dude version. I know it was around here somewhere. Huh? It's gone! Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would do something like that, I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. So Byakuya took the case file to prevent us from reading more in it. Most likely, or you know, maybe he wanted to compare notes or something. But, not that. Okay. We need to go to the dorms. So that we could get to the warehouse, and I guess we need to talk to Hina too. Probably talk to her about the locker rooms to see if she knows anything about the swapped posters. Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing?
Same as before. She won't come out and she just keeps mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there.
You left her?
My head was all swimmy and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry. I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her.
Speaking of which, what are you eating?
A donut, of course!
Of course?
There's two things I'm sure got created. Outer space and donuts.
Really?
I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. I should have tried to spend more time with her.
Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well... yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us.
Actually, Sakura said something similar.
You should have a jelly donut, Ash. A jelly donut always cheers me up.
These donuts are great! Jelly-filled are my favorite! Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut!
She said that even though you...
she said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yup, it's true. And it wasn't just us, either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls.
Was she just shy? don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex but totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? Well, I mean, in that kind of situation, it's probably because she was bullied by girls a lot, so she's more comfortable around boys. Or maybe she just finds that she generally has more in common with boys. Like, there are tons of reasons why you would spend more time with the opposite sex than your own sex. Or like, I guess gender is the better term for it. You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Also guys, full disclosure, you may crucify me for this, but I don't like donuts. Like, I've tried eating them a couple of times, but they're just too damn sweet for me and too fatty. Like, it's just too much. It's too much sugar. It tastes bad. It's like sugar and fat to the point where it becomes like a strain. Like I'm getting strangled in sweetness and fatness. It's too much. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. Yeah, like in my case, I've usually had more male friends than female friends, but it has nothing at all to do with like well, anything else to do with the fact that I usually just have more in common with boys than I do with girls, plus the fact that I'm autistic means that, you know, in autistic specific groups, there are usually more boys around than girls. So, like, it's kind of a combination of those two things. It's not that uncommon to spend time with people to, like, have more friends of your opposite gender than your same gender. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well. I will tell you, and only you. Guys, I'm not like other girls, okay? Because I have male friends. I don't like all the drama associated with girl friendships, okay? Like, boys are so much simpler to get along with, if you get what I mean. It's like, oh my god, girls just talk about makeup and stuff. They're not interesting like me. Last night I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. What? Really?
Indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this ever would have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying, which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Oh, we're done with investigation. But before continuing, I would like to ask you guys something. So, like, specifically in the third case and the last case, there are some voice acting lines that I, as an aspiring voice actor, would really like to get my claws on. But as you've probably noticed, the trials are all voice acted already, but you can turn voices off if you want to. So, like, what I was going to ask you guys is if you think I should maybe turn the voices off either for those cases, for all the cases, or like just keep the voices on during the trial scenes. So, like, you know, kind of figure out what you guys think I should do, because, like, you know, it's not super important that I actually get to voice act those parts. It's just more like something I want to do.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through
in front of the red
door on the
door.
first floor of the school.
God. Doors are our greatest enemy in this game.
Soon.
Begin the class trial, or it's about to begin. The red door is right through here.
So, is everyone ready to what? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here.
And Toko is...
You really don't remember?
Come on.
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please.
And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. Oh, doors truly are the Danganronpa protagonist snakes. And like, you know, I don't know, Indy, what do you have against snakes? Snakes are wonderful, cuddly creatures. Like, sure, they can be dangerous if they're poisonous snakes, or, well, venomous actually. But like, snakes are generally the you don't bother me, I don't bother you kind of deal. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible.
Phew, so now everyone's here, right?
Everyone's here.
Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Okay, so if we're gonna do this, I guess I might as well do it now. So system and options and voices, there. Oh, I've never actually seen the Indiana Jones movies. Like, I just know about some of the memes. But like, I guess that's a fair reason to hate snakes. But like, not me, I love snakes. I've loved snakes since I was a little girl. Back when I was like 2 or 3, my parents took me to the to Copenhagen Zoo, and around the children's zoo or the kids zoo, don't know what you call it in America, but like around there is basically this little outdoor area, like this tiny little arena where one of the zookeepers will take different animals out and show them, and they usually always take snakes out. So like I was like this tiny little thing, and the zookeeper pulled out this giant constrictor snake and talked about it, and she noted how the snake would like always move to be around her neck area, and she explained that like because snakes are cold-blooded, they like to seek out warm places, and she told us all to like feel the back of her neck and feel how it's much warmer there than the rest of our bodies. And then she went around with the snake, had the adults hold it so that the children could like pet it and have it move around on them and stuff. It was great. And there was also like one time where and there was also like this one time where she the zookeeper in question had a ton of other animals out. Like there was little hedgehogs, and there were also like small snakes, not just like the big constrictor ones. And then she took out like a giant toad. And upon seeing that thing, I turned around and ran away because I am terrified of frogs and toads. Like there's no logical reason behind it other than the fact that I don't like the way they move. But I am terrified of amphibians like that. Sorry. We have no choice, right? We have to do this. Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation, until finally, it came to a sudden stop. Oh.
What do you think? I'm redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions or stupid rants about snakes and frogs. Let's get this over with.
Good. You're ready to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all. Okay then, let's get the show on the road. Everyone, please find your assigned seats.
You still haven't installed any actual chairs, Monokuma. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. So, what do you guys say? Should we continue with the class trial or should we stop for today? Because, like, I'm fine with going either way. I don't think this case is actually that long. Charisma could be kind of useful. Robo-jog, increase triple the fire rate. That could be useful too. Kinetic depth perception. You automatically target the weak spot. No, I don't really like that. Okie dokie. The focus gauge, Oh my god, Snake. You made mac and cheese and no one could stop you. It was more quickly. Trance, even low combos will increase tempo. I mean, that could be useful. Guess I don't really have not for charisma, so I think I'm gonna go with trance. Trance rights. Okay.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened.
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Okay, I'm gonna check Ultimate Chat real quick, and I'm also get some more water because my glass is empty. And I'm back. Also, we just figured out that Butch Hartman has apparently started tweeting again. I hope to dear God that it's bad news on his part. Like, I don't want the guy to die per se, but I do want him to suffer a bit because he's a major, major asshole.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then, so first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Okay, can I, Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound. According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument, but what kind of blunt instrument could have been used? Oh, it wasn't. Oh my god. Please tell me that's not true. Please, please tell me that's not actually true. It was probably an iron pipe. Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused the injury? Oh my god, no, 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 no. First of all, what are the odds? What are the actual odds that while I am live streaming Danganronpa, fucking bitch Fartman starts making fucking talents for his, Fairly Odd Parents characters? Like, what are the odds? And second of all, I don't want Butch to be anywhere near Danganronpa. Like, despite its problematic things, Danganronpa is actually a good series. It's an interesting series. Like, can we all agree that the only reason why anything Butch has ever made has been good has been because of the other people involved with it? Okay, so it's not really something that happened, like, right now. Well, I'm at least happy about that, because otherwise I might think that I have some kind of doomed touch or something. And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there is no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound? Yeah, that's so creepy.
If you don't mind, I will proceed.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear. What? For real? Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer Genocide Jack. Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. That's his full title. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. We turned on the white noise machine so it's easier for you to fall asleep. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the X button to attach the silencer, which you can shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. So like the white noise is basically all of the other people talking over each other. Like you can see here. The culprit is Genocide Jack, I'm sure of it. Case closed as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof of it.
No, that's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case. And for some reason it's in this library for children. What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in a library? The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all of the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lost.
No, it's actually blood lost. But more importantly is that other characteristic. And it's something that has never been made public. Never made public? What the hell is it? Why don't you tell them, Makoto? Tell them, Makoto! This is gonna be a running theme from now on. The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, blah blah blah, we already know what this is. It is how the victim was positioned. Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. I diagnosed you with boob lust. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department. However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There is only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack. No fucking way. You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us? Yes, in fact, it's Toko. What? Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa. I don't think the police would kill her. Maybe Sakura. Maybe Hina. Probably Hiro. Worse, suspended. I'm gonna go to bed before the two of you get us killed. Or worse, suspended.
You lying? What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec.
Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood? Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no. Well, yes, but actually no. Another riddle. Man, why is this gonna be so complicated? It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko but also not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person but multiple people, right? Oh, I think they're gonna have a slur now. Yeah, this is the part where they use a slur. As if I didn't hate Hangman's Gambit enough as it is. Like, they use that word, but like it's not even schizophrenia. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality? Huh? I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder?
Okay, but still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed. Yeah. You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right? That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse. And then when she woke up... I'm fine. Wow, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top inning and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies.
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared. Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission. Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. You call that calm? In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can. So, when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack. I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend. The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out. What? Toko was afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her, of killing even more people. How? Yeah, how can you know all this? I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No, what she wants to know is, how could you tell them? Huh? Last night, just before Monokuma gave his moted speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. Oh my god, it turns out that all the characters are actually psychic and Hiro is just a damn loser. She said a murderous fiend lived within her and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko? This is all a lie. Right, Toko? You said you wouldn't tell anyone. What? You promised. I can't believe you lied. You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise, I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. You think someone would do that? Participate in a murder game and tell lies? I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised. How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you? I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but your efforts were useless. What a disappointment. I hate you. Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly. The person? You don't mean... Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Oh, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill.
Yes, I accept that headcanon. This is not a case of DID. This is a case of the evil that is doors possessing a person. See, that's why her tongue is so long and red. It's like the big red door. Man, I hate when my bodily functions launch backwards. It's almost as bad as when my entire nervous system gets just expels from my body. And if you get that reference, I applaud you. What the fuck is this? Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser's name. And what happened is a textbook split personality.
No, this is not a textbook split personality.
It's a textbook door possession.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with this from now on. It's door possession.
So what if doors happen to be serial killers? You should turn a blind eye to someone's faults.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie, or how every door has two faces, one front and one back. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun.
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question? What's up? Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind your situation. What are your thoughts on that? Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town! Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
A door!
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding! kidding again.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt. A motive. Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been ruined forever. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of her exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh? Huh?
But I can't imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never believe a word from a door.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all of this. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it? Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
Oh, I don't know, Simon, but I can see them now. So, well, I don't know. When you can... The modus operandi matches. No, it doesn't! No, that's wrong! Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. Huh? How's it any different?
Oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you. I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. Well, what happened to Chihiro? It would be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or chef Boyardee.
Of course, it makes perfect sense. Simon, you just broke this case wide open.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. There's one clear difference between the murders. In the vote, Megan's stomach, you see a clear difference. For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with pairs of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Oh yes, that is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more! One more conflicting detail!
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged? That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. What was used to suspend her? Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? I don't know. Guys, of course! The door was made in Italy! It all makes sense! So, like, Toko isn't, Italian. Actually she might be. Like, she has two moms, and I remember there's like an event where someone asks her if she prefers European or Japanese style breakfast, and she says that that she had one mother who liked one and the other who liked another, so... They'd use some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists. That is your point. Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors. And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong. Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. Because Chihiro was a girl. Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about? In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common. Kenarada 32, Tetsuhiro Honda 17, Shoji Gaku 23, Kano Issei 14, Takeshi Yoshida 30, Kamatsuna Taro, Takefumi Gono, Uchida Naohia, Takeshi Masamune. Oh, spelling mistake, it's Masamune, not Masamue. Yuto Yumijima. There was no end to it. They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! Yeah, I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the movie side of me just hates it. But now I'm the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan, madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid! I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it, you've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy, but that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, Lily Kerr!
Lily Kerr?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It would make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big stupid heavy dumbbell? Maybe use the dumbbell because she couldn't find any scissors in the school.
Oh, you can get scissors from the vending machine.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high class in me of the entire world scissors.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, that is a possibility. He might actually be into the whole yandere thing.
Yeah, she's fully equipped. That's right, I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to some dumbbell or ropes when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot, so ropes totally out of the question anyway.
Gah! I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent? But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah, that's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one other person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
I mean, that's just straight facts there. Since the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. It's horrible, glad this man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response? I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer. Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy, I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first? Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange. Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class. There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. Right. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun! I think we gotta memorize before we found the body, because before we found the body, we didn't know that Chihiro was the one who died.
Would absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
No, that's wrong! I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up. I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak. Huh? What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us. What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him. What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it. There is. I think there is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there. Oh, proof that I am the culprit, you mean? The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be?
Want the difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors, and I use the same scissors to arrange the body. But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not? That's right, it absolutely was. Well, there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh? I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Right. Unless, of course, Ifumi really wanted to check out the big boobed model. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once. Haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact. Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility. That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this. I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right? He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved? What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened. Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer?
I don't disagree with that disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win. Sorry, but could we hold on for just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more. Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it. I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me. Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you? Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The scene of the crime. You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else? How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. Byakuya is basically getting off on this, and he's disappointed that Makoto isn't being a better partner. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is definitely absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else? Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene. The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that. I believe I do. Hey, Byakuya, did you just... Yeah, and by that, it's very homophobic. Did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else. Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else? Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof. Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There's something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker room. I think we need to do this one now. Oh right, BBC Sherlock is returning. God, it's gonna be just awful. The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room. Your proof is some posters. The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jocks of hers were totally fake.
I think there's only rumors about it, and that guy, Stephen Moffat, might not be involved because apparently he's gonna do like a Dracula series or something, which is gonna be just a train wreck. Like, every time Stephen Moffat is the leader of some kind of show, it becomes bad. Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So, you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura? You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away. No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet. That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee. Yeah, you know, we can never be sure. And like, do you even think there would still be a viewer base for it? Like, I think most people who used to watch it have moved on by now.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question, if the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Oh, right. I mean, I guess the people who want more Game of Thrones might just, you know, want an ending that didn't suck.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her to access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up, I'm telling you! I know how she could have done it.
Is he right?
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Yeah. Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Oh, I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her. No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook! That was actually a pretty good idea from Hiro. Like, unlike Makoto, he actually knew about the handbooks in the hall. And he managed to figure out on his own the loophole in taking and borrowing handbooks. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook. Why not? Because Leon's handbook was broken. Oh, well, then, yeah, I guess that'll be pretty impossible, huh? I'm struck silent by how quickly you gave up. Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook? Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway. So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Dude, you can't fix any handbook! The instant you open one up, a secret buzzer starts blaring!
So if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own...
Maybe Mr. Naiki's initial assumption is just wrong.
It seems like there's no way she could have gotten into the boys' locker room, so I guess so. Okay then, I vote for Byakuya. Is that it? Then Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room. And Byakuya's the one who did it. Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do. Hold on a second. I agree with you though, I think you're on the right track. What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you got to say? There's no way she could get into the boys' locker room, right? So, why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access. What? What are you talking about? What other way is there? Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait, Listus, what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry, this will make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, alright then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, Lennies, you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go? So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was... Oh, I love the wordplay of a fucking trial recess. The girls' locker room? Oh, the monkey bars! We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy? I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time. You want to check it again? Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like, using our hands? No, wait.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body. It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know? Very well, I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch that body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. Oh, they're actually Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, that whole thing like, you know, not accepting blood transfusions and that. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion. Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body. Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery. Her entire body? I know you say that, but... Oh, definitely. Like, Sakura and Hina, Mondo and Taka, those are the OTPs of this game. What? What does this mean? What is it? Not possible. It's not possible! Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled. This girl is...
Is what?
Is what? Is a boy! Yeah, so this is here we have it. So, you know how in Persona 4 there is this character who is actually a girl but is pretending to be a boy because of Japanese gender norms? And like a lot of people like to are kind of disappointed because they thought like, oh, are we going to get an actual trans character? And then it's like, no, she's not trans, she's just pretending to be a boy. And this is basically it. Chihiro was a boy pretending to be a girl. We could have had a trans character, you know? Something really interesting and forward-thinking and, you know, something that's not seen a lot and that we could always use more of because there is so little representation, especially from Japanese media. But no, we get femboys. And like, sure, I love femboys, but like... it's disappointing.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact. What?
You're joking, right? I wouldn't joke about this. Then it's really true. See, and just these reactions. God. I hate it. Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what, you guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy. Then he was a cross-dresser? Now I'm really on fire. I wish I had killed him. So that's what Taku wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
It's kind of fucked up that Kyoko didn't just, you know, tell them and instead had someone examine a dead body when they were clearly not comfortable with it.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now, let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy. Do you think that Chihiro was actually a guy? The thought had never even crossed my mind. And because the victim was male, he would have no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room. Assuming his handbook did in fact list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true. And now it's time for Monokuma to get transphobic.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room. So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room. I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible. Well, I must admit I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body. Like, that is the headcanon that I prefer to go with too, that Chihiro actually is a trans girl, and like Monokuma is just purposefully like, you know, making them think that she was a boy pretending to be a girl because he's transphobic. Like, that is the one that I prefer to go, that is the headcanon that I prefer to go with. This is the most titillating situation. So now everything has been connected, all the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever, we still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Oh, he's up in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer? Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like genocide. Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him. And do you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him? Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too, how can I put it, overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord knowing it would connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you. So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I'm not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it. Are you fucking with us right now? No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth. Well, I find it very hard to believe. Go ahead, find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us. If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why'd you do that to his body? Should I change Chihiro's pronouns if we're gonna go with the headcanon that Chihiro is a trans girl? My reasoning hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it? Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more. We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it. No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well, then. I'm with you, too.
Definitely. Damn straight, count me in. Do you not have a mind of your own? Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something? What is this? A hero bait for ants? Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision. That's very true. Our lives are all on the line. Excellent. Then, shall we resume our game of hide and seek? But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's only one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy. Since the crime was in the boys' locker room, you would need a boy's handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it would have to be a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it? Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer? If someone's... I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now. Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah, all we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. No, that's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before she was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see her. Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more out there than the first one. But I have some cool facts about it that I actually learned from watching a video about some symbolism for all the executions.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're making also making such ugly noises.
Whatever, just hurry up and tell us.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw her stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assumed she headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene. It seems like the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that's when she said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me she was in a hurry. But why would she be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for her, I should think. So, Miss Fujisaki was on her way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited her to exercise with us plenty of times, and she always declined. Probably because she was afraid that you would find out the secret she was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, she must have trusted whoever she was meeting with very much. Enough so that she was willing to risk her secret being revealed. Oh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever she met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess. No, you already have what you need to make the connection. Huh? You know who the killer is. Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer? Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for her.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have? What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it. As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from. Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special. Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket? Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket she took. Does Chihiro's jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. She was on her way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did she choose the specific tracksuit that she did? What do you mean, the specific tracksuit? I got it. She picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing. So what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as her? Uh-oh. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say? Huh? What did I say? When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said, I saw her stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume she headed off to exercise. She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit? What do you just... Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit? As a matter of fact, it was blue. And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that? The only one I told about any of this was you. Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was? Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation. No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before she died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I happened to see it last night. She walked past me and she was carrying the tracksuit in her hands. No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony, she stuffs the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone. When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into her briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was. It would appear you've dug your own grave. Perhaps, but you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who she met with? What a bunch of nonsense. Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on the edge. That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the beginning. But why? What made you so suspicious? That's a good question. The way he talked. Because I hate him. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to feminine and masculine people differently. I'm gonna go with this because, you only called masculine people dude, but you called feminine people chick. And after she was killed, you happened to refer to her as dude. You misgendered her, Mondo. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail.
And if you do remember back at the investigation, Mondo did indeed refer to Chihiro as dude.
Are you a witch? She's a witch. You're positively frightful.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend. Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro? I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal? Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation. It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky. That was fast. Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. Oh, that's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
I'm gonna assume this is like an reference to an anime or another game. Maybe Ghost Trick. Like, I've heard about Ghost Trick, but I haven't actually played it myself, so I don't know. Oh yeah, that reminds me, Yufumi. Weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence? Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, did your confidant just get up and walk away? It's fine, man, just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is. What do you have there? It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground? Then it must be... it's mine. No, it's Chihiro's. We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right? For a fact.
For a fact, indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some kind of clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. When it's busted, it won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder. That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right, they're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
So, first time playing through this, I thought that the way that the handbook had been broken was through the giant, submachine gun in the locker rooms, because Chihiro mentioned at some point how it had gone off. So, that's what I thought, but it's not. And yet this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? There's only one way. By hitting its weak point. You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Oh, you remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
What if I tell you and someone else decides to copy that? That wouldn't be very good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh, well, I have a weakness for pushy demands, but you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break. I finally knew it.
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees.
Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Strange how you don't get burned, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burn when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposefully trying to raise its temperature in order to break it. Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness. But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed, quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident? What do you mean by accident? What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it. I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna. I might know someone who did.
Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was... Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It had to be the one who wore all of their clothes into the sauna. It was... Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it? Why? Why do you keep accusing him? Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it. No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof, the actual solid proof. I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh, it's not that one. I don't remember how. Okay, here. What it says is correct, and Mondo, you broke your own handbook. In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, since that proves that what Makoto said is right. Well, my handbook works just fine! Ah, damn it, now I have to go all over again. See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly! So remember how we had that broken one and we assumed it was Leon? Yeah. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours? The fuck is that supposed to mean? The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours? What the heck are you talking about? What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it!
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes? But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit, but no worries. If anything, that just makes it more interesting. As such, I agree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but... son of a bitch. Yeah, there is a pretty, big cross on that. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up. Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time from the beginning. Monokuma. No! That way, everything will become clear. And we'll all see if I was right or wrong. So let's saw Chihiro in the warehouse with a duffel bag, and it's this one. Chihiro hurried up. There's something everyone has that you need to get into the locker room. And Chihiro entered the boys' locker room because Monokuma is homophobic. Like, it was here, up. And then this murder took place and blood splattered on something. Right, if you can't say trans rights, then you're not welcome here. To disguise the truth, the killer switched around the carpet as well as something else. Oh, really then? Can we have a trans rights? The killer took something from the other locker room and switched it. Okay, I need to get the poster. Yeah. Okay, Monokuma said trans right. You're welcome to stay here. Okay, what was it? That Byakuya brought to the murder room was this one. When Byakuya arrived on the scene, what did he use to disguise? Okay, I think we need to be here. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? Right. With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple. Because she's trans. And Hope Speak Academy doesn't say trans rights. Which is why she was able to use her own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, she met with someone there, and the person she met with was the one who killed her. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked her. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First pulling off the blood-stained carpet, then removing the bloody poster. And finally, carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the posters they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. That is valid, Monokuma. So after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. Right, it's all doors! And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada? Wait, no, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence, you need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him! Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. Absolutely. Let's talk a bit more about Fever Time and Nega Time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the R1 button, Fever Time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push X square, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we've also prepared something called Nega Time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates Nega Time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate Fever Time at this point... No, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use Nega Time. Well then, good luck and have fun. Yeah. And see, here's the thing, it's actually Taka we're battling with here. Like, it's not even Mondo, it's Taka. It's so tragic. Final strike, broken handbook. If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we don't gotta do that. Huh? Yeah. I did it. I killed her. God. Bro, what are you saying? I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamned verdict.
Where'd you been?
Wait, hold on.
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank. Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Uh-oh! This time it looks like you got it right again!
Let me just, Just gonna, real quick, turn the voices back on. Let's see here. There.
Yes, it is so! The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada! In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer! You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
the story of the murder this time is the sad story between a man and a woman. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the circle button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young girl.
Or should I have Monokuma misgender Chihiro, since that's kind of like what he's trying to do with this? Like, should I just have him misgender Chihiro, or should I continue with the whole, right pronouns? I'm just gonna continue with the right pronouns, because, like... Oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't... Okay, I'm gonna do Danish eeny meeny miny mo. Ogger, gogger, gummiklokker, ærle, perle, pif, paf, puff, væk med den beskidte luft i den sorte skuff. Okay, it became keeping Chihiro's female pronouns.
She had an extreme inferiority complex regarding her lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy! She had heard those things for as long as she could remember. She couldn't overcome her weakness. On the contrary, she tried to hide and bury herself further and further into that weakness. Which is when she started transitioning. She thought transitioning would be her way out.
Now nobody will say anything about even though you're a boy.
But no matter how tightly she wrapped herself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of her and was not so easily weeded out.
Oh yeah, we could use that.
As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger.
I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which of course included Chihiro's secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy. And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack. The armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him even more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I don't really want to talk about it right now. But I also don't want to leave things the way they are. So maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong. Then I can tell everyone.
And knowingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that if someone says, even though you're a boy, I won't care, because I'll know the truth.
With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only time he would get at it. When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help.
Right, that's the thing. It would be such perfect trans story, which is why it's such a shame that, like, officially Chihiro isn't trans.
But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me.
It sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of the strong man Chihiro had always aspired to be.
No, that's not true. Yeah. But, like, we can also think about it like this. Isn't it amazing how far LGBTQ plus issues have come in just the last decade? Like, in the last 2 decades, like, gay marriage, people have become more aware about trans issues. Like, we have gotten a lot far. I mean, we've gotten so far concerning these issues, and that is an amazing thing and something that we should be proud of. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage.
So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did. To keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to protect Chihiro's gender identity. how does moving the body do that? Because if everyone knew Chihiro had been killed in the boys' locker room, everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect her identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting her in the girls' locker room and stealing her handbook. See? Then, Mondo did all of that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone. It's impossible. How many times must I repeat myself? Oh, that would be wonderful. To judge others based by your own standards is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother! Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble.
Oh, that is right. For instance, the batting cage that Leon was... Well, it is based off their ultimate, you know, kind of keeping in theme with that, but it's usually also incorporates something that the character hates. For instance, if you do Leon's social events, he will talk about how the thing he hated the most about baseball was the practicing. And like, the batting cage that he was actually, you know, kept in is actually something that's used in Japan to practice. And in fact, the Japanese title for his death is based on a special training that's used in those batting cages. It's a training where the ball shooter will like keep shooting and you have to catch every ball until you faint from exhaustion. Like, I think maybe we can see it here. Leon... Oh, I don't actually have it. Okay, so you can see here, I hate practicing, but I don't really like baseball. I hate practicing, but I'm good at it. That's true, that's another thing. But actually, if you've managed to, because if you actually managed to complete his social event, you can see here, once I stopped playing baseball, I realized I actually kinda like it. So I think I'll go back to my old school and get back into it again. So yeah, I don't think you can see here on the report cards what the characters hate, but you can probably see that if you look at the actual wiki, so maybe I'll check that out.
Then the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile,
that would actually fit pretty well.
Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 in the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy.
Oh, wait. The punishment should also incorporate a queen bee, you know. That fits perfectly. And also, fun fact, all bees that are capable of stinging are female because only female bees actually have stingers. So that fits perfectly.
But when Mondo started thinking about how he would attempt to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul.
The kid's gonna take over with Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be your leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad.
Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win. I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top.
And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic.
2 days before retirement.
But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry.
Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team. You and me put together. It's a promise between men.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother.
Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed.
That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to leave the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong.
And yet, as soon as their killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the reveal of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why I... Mondo, after I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with kind of fuzzy uneasiness, just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say. But after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with her. And right there, she told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me all of this? Huh? 'Cause, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I want to change. I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of myself forever. Her words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like she was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. Yeah, maybe. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us...
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was... jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. She had the strength to face her own weakness and insecurity and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of her. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did you want me to do? What did you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Damn you.
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face? No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you!
You son of a
And
bitch.
stronger than Daya! I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey. I
killed him.
Killed him.
I killed Chihiro.
I killed Chihiro.
Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. Thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hit that weak side. Okay, Simon, there's gonna happen something in chapter 3 that I think is gonna put all of that you just said into perspective. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it!
Look at him! You see? You're all just like him! For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't.
You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead and say that again, I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. It's what I wanted to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
Punishing? You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Hold on.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment for Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader.
No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait!
Sorry, man.
I
couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
So, like, what do you think that the promise between Mondo and Taka was? Game over. Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. So I actually saw an art piece on Deviant, no wait, on Tumblr I mean, where it was like, what if Taka, the reason why Taka said wait was because he was going to offer to take Mondo's place for the punishment. And it was, yeah. It was pretty tough to see. But, so this punishment might seem, you know, a little weird with the tigers, but apparently the whole tiger thing is a reference to a children's book that's very popular in Japan, Little Black Sambo, I think it's called. In that thing, basically, the main character Sambo tricks 3 tigers and makes them chase each other around a tree so fast until they turn into, well, you'll see. So yeah, it was this thing that someone had redrawn Taka in instead of Mondo. Yeah, in the story, the tigers turn into butter.
Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace.
Can't be. My Mondo. Another murder. And another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Yeah, maybe they decided to make it a little more, you know, of a weird trial to kind of lift the mood from the fact that this might be one of the saddest trials in all of Danganronpa. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he... Of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Byakuya? You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead! Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that...
However,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual. So, you ignore the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene? Damn, man. If we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. So yeah, Byakuya did all this to lure out who he would have to keep an eye on and possibly also try to kill if he ever decided to become the blackened.
Correct.
So that was your reasoning. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Okay.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why?
Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
You're over-exaggerating.
I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
What do you mean?
Mean? Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
The noble son of a noble family truly do understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to kill you. Understand? In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you.
I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you.
Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap.
Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get bored?
So yeah, this scene is a little out of timeline, but it basically takes place after the first trial.
Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole.
Well, he's not actually playing with it, it's just stuck to his paws.
And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
So yeah, guys. There is a traitor in our group and a 16th student that's Monokuma's ace in the hole. Interesting, very interesting. And with that, we are going to stop for today. This became a double length episode, I guess. Yeah, I need to go to bed soon. We haven't reached the data room yet. But you're doing well in pointing out doors. Yeah, we need sleep. Me and Simon too. So, thanks for joining me. I hope you had a lot of fun. And I hope you'll join me again on the next stream, whenever that is. So, thanks and see ya.